Hey guys, I'm not sure why I decided to do this, but I use Mirror and I use Unity gaming services, and I try to stay up to date sometimes. So I decided to try to see if I could get the Mirror example from Unity for Unity gaming services relay working with Unity 6. Was not so straightforward. So I've started a new project. You see, I'm using Unity 6,000, whatever the heck this is, 3.4. This is a test project, so I'm in the sample scene. Okay, so Unity has a mirror transport, which makes sense because it's so close to Unity netcode. So you can go here. I'll leave a link in the description to get here. Now, if you read this, let's see. Getting started, blah, 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 blah. Oh, is this the right one? Hold on. Mirror sample. Wrong page. Okay, so if you read this, you'll see right here it says for Unity 6 and above, just install this instead of this. That's all it says. And then it just goes, well, it's no. I'm going to be firsthand to tell you that that is not all you have to do. So let's follow these instructions. First, it says go to Windows. Okay, then we're going to go to Package Manager. Package Manager. If you don't already have Mirror in your assets, go and add it. So I do have it, and I've got the latest version. You can get the latest version from their GitHub, but I just do whatever they make publicly available. So let's go and install that. We'll import it, install and upgrade. Hooray. This only takes a couple seconds, maybe a minute, I don't know. Okay, import. Come on. Get her done, son. Well, maybe I should have paused it. But if I pause it now, I'll be done already. Alright, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Just do it. Alright. Alright, so now we got Mirror installed. Great. Cool. Next it says import by name com.unity.services.multiplayer if it's Unity 6 or above, and we are Unity 6 or above. So let's go to Windows, Package Manager. I'm going to copy this name. You can't see what I'm doing right now, but I'm just following those same instructions. Plus go to not by name but GitHub, get URL, boom. Okay, install. Come on, I got a game to build here. Spend about 70% of my time dealing with networking and 30% actually building the game. Be done already if you were done. Come on. Okay, so now that's installed. So now it says to install jobs. Okay, so let's do that. Plus install from get URL, jobs, install. Okay, great, cool. So far, so good. Nothing too special going on. So next, it says just to open their project and copy over the UTP transport folder from their project into yours. Well, let me show you what happens when you do that. It's not what you would hope, like their instructions say. So let's just grab that and we'll drop it in there. Let it recompile if it can. Oh my goodness, look at this. 34 errors. What are we going to do? Okay, so first things first. This took a while to find. So let me bring this up. Migrate from relay. Install the multi-service package, run the package manager, update any assembly definition file referencing the relay package to reference the multiplayer services package. That's great. What's the definition? Reading. Oh, you didn't bother to put it in there. Okay, great. Let me just figure it out. Okay, cool. So if you go into your transport and you find your definitions, there's two of them. There's one here and there's one in test. So if you go into test, you see how it's all grayed out? It doesn't know what's going on right here. Okay, so right here it's referencing relay, right? We want to change this to multiplayer. I think that's what it is. Let's see what happens. Should automatically fill in once we do that. Boom, there it is. Okay, so now let's go over to this one. Same thing, it's referencing relay. So let's go to multiplayer. Save. Should see it autofill if I spelled it right. It's a yes, and for all other files, hooray. Sure, why not? This is just a dust project anyway. Boom, there it is. Okay, so now we have narrowed down some of it. We're now down to 10 errors. What do we got to do now? Wrapped relay service SDK name relay does not exist. There's 4 of them for that sucker, so let's open that. Okay, they've changed this. If you hit show potential, it doesn't give you anything that works. So since we have no direction, we just have to figure out what this is, and it's more simple than you think. It's that that yeah that was a head scratcher. I just decided to do that and start with like relay and see what I had available to me. So like if I just put like this and I put return relay, and then I just started going through here. What could it be? What could it be? And then I just, okay, we'll try that, and it worked. So hooray for getting lucky. Okay, so save that up. Now we can go back in here. What we got left? Utilities. Okay, so if we come into utilities, you can see we have this. They changed this too. Okay, so now if I do this, and I come in here and I go relay server data dot, well, connection data, no, that's probably not it. The only thing I could find that was close to this that they changed it to is this. Okay, great. Let's do that because it's pretty close in name, right? Okay, cool. So we'll just do that and hope for the best. And then let me go to my other one, and it's the exact same thing. So let's just comment that out, and then there we go. Okay, let's go back in here and after it compiles and see just exactly what we've got left. Nothing. Okay, clear. And if we want to make sure, we can save, close it, bring this back up and go back into test 3. We shouldn't get really anything in the console. Boom, there we are in Unity 6 with no errors. Hooray. No thank you to you, Unity, for very little direction on your own example. All right. So now we're in here. Let's make sure it works. Let's go ahead and create an empty, and we'll call this Network Manager. Right? And add a component. We'll say relay network manager. Cool. And then add is it U2P transport? Yep. Okay. Where do you go? There. Okay. So now let's just create a player. We'll say I'm just going to use a cube. And then on our network player, we need to add a network identity, and we need to add a network transform, unreliable. It's automatically going to be client to server with this build, so you're good there. We're not going to worry about any of that. This is just for a test. I'm literally just going to put everything in this scenes folder. So let's grab our network player. We'll drop his button there, and then we're going to delete him. Come up here. Take our test network player, and we will drop him into the player prefab slot. So now that is what will get spawned. Make sure he's at 0. Okay, cool. File save. Now let's come in here and let's create a way to connect, right? So most of you guys watching my videos are doing VR, but this is just something that you would do in a world canvas, but I'm just going to do it in a scene canvas so that I can just click the button with my mouse. So I'm just going to call this connect canvas array. Okay, let's come up here. Let's figure out where they move the 2D thing to. There we go. We're going to add a UI button. Hooray. And I'm going to call this import. Okay, fine. Let's do that too. Why not? Since I didn't really feel like it, but we'll call this host button. And we will make the text. We'll just call it host. Why not? And then duplicate it. And then we will call this client button. We will call this client. Okay. And then we will just move that little guy down. So now we have 2 buttons. Now we have to have a script to interact with our network manager. So let's go ahead and create a script. Model behavior script. Sure, not. Why not? That's what we want. So we'll call this connect. Why not? Okay, so we need a reference. Sure, why not? I don't know what you're doing today. Come on, come on, come on. So we need a reference to our network manager. So we'll just say public. You could do this with the singleton, but I don't feel like it. So I'll just say public relay. Actually, we need to say using U2P. It gets kind of confusing with mirror because you can actually just use network manager as well. I just like to use what they actually are. So relay network manager, and then let's see, we just need public void host. Sure, don't need to make it complicated. And then we need another function called public. Ooh, if I could write today. Public void client. Okay. Now in the host, we want to say network manager dot start relay host. And then it's going to want a player count, so we'll just say 2. You could do this as a variable if you want, but I'm not going to do it here. And then we're just going to send our region as null. This is where you would actually pass the actual region of where you wanted to create this relay. So there's like 10 of them: Asia, Europe, the United States, 10 or 12 or whatever. But if you wanted to actually tell it where you want to create the relay. Then client is going to be network manager dot join relay server, and it doesn't need anything going on there. So let's take that, and that's all you need there. Come on, recompile. We're still in the right project. Okay. I've done this like 6 times. I haven't had to look at my example project so far. I'll look at it if I mess up. So let's take this, we'll throw connect on there, take our network manager, throw it on there, and then on our button, just come down here. I'm not going to bother putting listeners in. I'm just going to cheat on this, and we're just going to do this, and then we're going to go down to connect, and then we're going to go to host. And then on this button, we're going to click it and then bring down our canvas because that's right through the script. And I'm going to go down to connect and I'm going to hit client. Okay, file save. Next, we need to do an authentication. So if you come over to your UTP transport, there is a basic example of authentication to get you started. That's not what I wanted to click on. It is right here. This is just giving you the very basic login anonymously and authenticating with Unity Gaming Services. Obviously, if you do like Vivox and all this stuff, this is going to get a lot longer, and you want to trigger this as an await, and then you do other things. I should also point out that one of the reasons that I like this transport is you can also use it with multiplay, which is a dedicated server for Unity Gaming Services. I'm actually doing it at one of my projects now. It works fine. Just the UTP transport that enables it to work with Unity. So there's literally, it'll tell you that. So if you look at the network manager on the transport, see where it says use relay, we want to click that because we're going to use relay. File, save. So now let me come over to my scenes where I've got all my garbage at, and I'm just going to create a new model behavior script. I'm going to call this authentication. Okay. Hope I spelled that right. Let's see. Okay, authentication. Okay, it looks right. Okay, so just get rid of this, and we can just use our start function. We'll tap that in there, and you'll see it's going to give me a whole bunch of stuff that, hey, we don't have references to that. Okay, so first off, this needs to be, I'll just show you how easy this is. So if you hover, it'll say show potential fixes. We want to use Unity Core. And if you hover over again, we want to use Unity Services Authentication. Then if you hover over again, make it async. Okay, I don't want a task. I want this to happen on start, so I'll just do void, and then back it up to start, and then you can see this happens, before everything else. So control save. Then you see the exception, show potential fixes using system. Okay, so we're good there. Really don't know why Unity 6 removed like system and stuff from the main thing. It was anyway, I guess it's pretty easy. But anyway, moving on. So if I come back in here and then I come to my connect canvas, I'll just throw my authentication there. That way we authenticate with Unity Gaming Services. So all this should work. Okay, file, save, file, build profiles, which is really weird. Oh, there's one other thing we got to do. So if we go into our network manager, let me edit this script. Let me come all the way down to where it's the start relay host. Right here is where it creates that join code. So here you just want to do debug .log error join code. And what this will do, since we're doing a developer build, it'll show me what that join code is on the host, and then I can just type it in for testing on the client, which is as far as I'm going to go with this video. Okay, so fingers crossed, file, save, file, build profiles. Make sure you have development build checked so that actually pops up. We're going to build this sample scene. Build it, and then what I do is usually just right there in my Unity folder, I make a new folder. I call it builds if I'm doing like multiple types of builds, and then I would put another folder like if I was doing Quest or if I was doing Steam VR or whatever. So let's just select that folder. We'll build it out. Fingers crossed this works. We're in this together. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Come on, come on. It's only one scene. It's only one scene. Shouldn't take 6 hours. Come on. Oh, for Pete's sake. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm not patient today. You can do it! You run that burst compiler. Oh, hooray. It did it. Only one more thing I need to do now, just so you can see it. So if I go to, if it's still in the same place, let's go to project settings, go down to player. Let's change this resolution to windowed, and I believe resizable size. Okay, great. Okay, file, save, and then I'm going to go ahead and build it again. Builds. Let's select that folder again. Should build a lot faster this time. Okay, cool. Okay, so now allow access, array. Okay, so now fingers crossed, if I hit host, gives me this code right here, and you can see my little player popped up. So now if I come over to my network manager and I come down to where it says join code, I can type in the join code. NNDHLG. Okay. And fingers crossed. Let's see if there's any errors. Client. Ta-da! There we are. We now have 2 players. So assuming that I don't grab the wrong one, it won't error out and thinking I'm cheating. I think I need this one. So get rid of my 2D here. Come down here. Did I grab the wrong one? There we go. Okay. There we go. Connected through a relay. The reason I can't move that on this side is because it's client to server. So even if I move something on this side, it won't happen on the other side. You have to move your actual player object. So if I grab the other guy, he's not going to move on the other screen. Actually surprised it didn't throw a bunch of errors. There we go. Okay, so you guys wanting to use Mirror with Unity Gaming Services Relay and multiplay and all that stuff, it works. I haven't gotten past Relay yet, but I don't foresee lobby and all that stuff really being a problem. Multiplay uses the exact same transport that I'm using here for that to work. So really the only difference is you wouldn't use the Relay Network Manager. You would make a custom network manager and you would just untick Relay, and then you could use this with multiplay. So cheers. I hope that helped if that's something you're trying to do. Talk to you later.